Welcome back to EncoreForum's Roundtable discussion, and we're talking about the educational crisis and the role that hip-hop plays within, I don't even want to say our Black community, but within our communities. So we want to also offer solutions. Okay, what are some of the solutions to these bad habits or crises that we're in with our education system?
Well, one of the first things we have to look at, is from a political and economic and sociological standpoint, we have to look at the fact that we have to consider the fact that we only invest $2,973 a year in our third graders, okay, which is one of the reasons why they're failing. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. The great Frederick Douglass once said that it's far easier to build young, strong minds than to repair broken men. We need to invest more money into our early education. You can't spend $2,900 on a third grader and yet spend $31,000 on an inmate. Yeah. That's one of the things. Find a solution earlier. Also, we have to consider the fact that property tax is one of the major reasons why we have public school funding. But every year you hear politicians talk about not raising taxes. They're talking about not raising funding and revenue for your schools in your cities. When your current governor basically cuts back to education by the millions that he has, he's hurting your schools. The reason why these people don't care about public education is because their children don't go to public schools. If they want to expand their voucher programs that we started for their children. You got to realize that in 1980, Ronald Reagan instituted the voucher program to have middle-income people have an opportunity for their children to go to private school. No, it wasn't. It was a chance to get white kids out of black schools, therefore defunding those schools and depriving them of the same academic things that the other schools have. We have to change that format. We have to realize that there are things that we can do in society. We have to realize that if we don't solve these children, today's children's problems are tomorrow's nightmares.
That is true. And speaking of children, you have 5 children of your own. So what are some solutions you can offer to our families?
Okay, well, one of my biggest things, again, I touched on it earlier, is just communicating with the children, talking to the kids. So it's not so much going outside and playing baseball every day. It's actually educating them on what is going on outside. And it really starts there. So when they go to school and they come home, be involved with that. Ask them how was the day, but don't just say it was good and then leave the conversation alone.
What was good about it?
Yeah, what was good? I do that to my kids all the time. But following up with their homework. I mean, I don't just live for me anymore. I have 5 other kids that rely on me, so I live for them now because,
Are your children in MPS or?
Yeah, they actually are enrolled on the south end of town now. So yes, all of them are, except for the 2 little ones that aren't in school yet. Okay,
and you went to MPS as well? I did. Okay. Now, from an artist standpoint, what are some solutions that you can offer to our wannabe rap artists or wannabe professional players? And I don't think there's anything wrong with wanting to be these, but being realistic about it.
No, I think that's what we need. Still need art is very important. But I believe once we're at the age now that we know that our hip hop artists or athletes do hold a sense of responsibility, whether we like it or not. You got kids following you and whatnot. So at that point, I say be a little bit like the politicians. Start getting out in your community. Start going to these schools. Start talking to the kids. Find out what they need. Find out programs that's in the community that will help the kids in the schools and educate ourselves more and seeing what we can do. If you're making millions of dollars, why not kick some money back to helping an inner school program or something and hold the people that's at that community event, hold them to come back with the results you need, If I'm gonna give you $100,000 to help these kids with their reading, then I'm gonna be back in 6 months, and I want to see some change. Yeah, and just being more involved.
Well, you got to also realize that and like going back to what Rock was saying here is that parents are the first teachers. We have to realize that we can't allow our children to run around like little natives and then one day sit them down in a classroom and expect them to learn. When as a former Head Start teacher, one of the most frustrating things for me was parents bringing their children to me unprepared to learn.
That is true. And, at this present time, speaking of the children, it reminds me of the song Whitney Houston song. The children are our future. And we have to remember that definitely, our children are our future. And we have to invest more in our future, which is basically our children. And, this is not a black issue. It's not a national issue. This right here, speaking of education, is a national crisis. And we have to do something. immediately. Thank you so much for the conversation, gentlemen. EncoreForum's Roundtable Discussion. I'm your host, Marlo Shaw.
He kicked his grandmother down the stairs simply because she made him clean his room. He's not even allowed in his father's house for making inappropriate comments about his stepmother. He's known at Potawatomi simply as the Bingo Gigolo. He is the shystiest man in the world.
I don't always make hits, but if I did, I'd prefer BJ Shaw. Stay shiesty, my friends.
Hello, my name is Cash Me Out P. Johnson, and through this public announcement, I'm here to offer you the opportunity to allow me to help you help yourself. Are you a rapper, singer, producer with great talent, and you're trying to push your career to the next level? But your CEO or your manager wants to be all in your video, all on your songs, forcing you to use SoundClick beats or other internet sensations that are promoting recycled beats that are used by thousands of other rappers throughout the country. Well, me, Cash Me Out P. Johnson, is here to help you solve your problems.
Here at BJ Shaw Studio, we pride ourselves on a state-of-the-art sound with industry-ready recording and industry mixdowns on site. We also offer exclusive beats specially made by in-house producers, and to make it even better, CD duplications at a very competitive price that beats down our competition. Need pictures for that bio or press kit? Visit BJ Shaw for the photography. Need artwork for that album cover or company logo? Visit the graphics department. Need a video? Visit BJ Shaw, because that's our specialty.
I am Cash Me Out P. Johnson, and this is BJ Shaw Studio.